What's going on, guys? Welcome back to Great Talks Wrestling. I hope you're all keeping well and you're ready for another retro review. If you haven't done so already, smash the like button and subscribe. Do me a massive favour, help me reach that 1K, that milestone that I'm trying to hit. Really appreciate everyone that's helped already. Let's talk about WCW SuperBrawl III. And I've got to say, every year they knock it out the park. I'm enjoying Super Brawls, but every year WCW start off really strong. They're looking really good. Look like they've got all their balls in place. And then it all goes wrong by the end of the year. Everything's changed. And I'm dreading that that's going to happen again. And we're going to get a few boring shows, a few hard to watch shows like it was last year in 92. They started really strong. End of the year, yeah, it was a hard watch. Hard slog to get through. But we'll start off with the Hollywood Blondes. Steve Austin, a forgotten about talent, really underutilised towards the end of the year in WCW in 92. He started off with the Dangerous Alliance and he ended up tag teaming and losing with Steve Williams by the end of it. Forgotten about pretty much by the end of the year. Non-existent. And he's just shoved into a tag team and made to make it work with Brian Pillman. Brian Pillman, the MVP of WCW in 92, knocking it out of the park every match he had on pay-per-view. And then they just put him in a tag team like, here you go. That's your prize. Try and make this work. And they do. But they're not allowed to progress and get higher than where they are, really. They're stuck where they are, mid-carders, and that's mid-card for life. That's what it is for these two at the moment. And WCW are not letting them reach the potential they could have, really, in this company. And it's a shame. It really is just blindness from WCW that they don't see the talent they have right in front of them. This was really good. They're a really good tag team. They could easily be the best tag team in the company. They could easily carry the ball, carry the titles, and be the best tag team in the company and in professional wrestling itself. Why not? They were really good. Really good. In this match, you could tell how good they are. Even if it was against Eric Watts and Marcus Alexander Bagwell. This was a phenomenal match, a phenomenal opener. There were some really good matches on this show. Second up, and I'll get this out of the way now. The less said the better about the guy, what he did outside of the ring, because he's an absolute arsehole, absolute prick. Fuck him. It was Too Cold Scorpio going up against Chris Benoit in his first ever match in WCW. He goes off to ECW for a bit, I do believe, and then comes back here. He travels around in Japan as well. He's go all over the place. And then he makes his home in WCW in a couple of years. But he's here, a young Chris Benoit. And well, during these reviews, I knew I was going to have to talk about him. But I'll just focus on the in-ring stuff he did. And he was phenomenal. There's no doubt about it. And here he was fantastic. And his match with Too Cold Scorpio was the best match of the night. There's no denying it. Fast-paced, action-packed, hard-hitting. You're not going to see this kind of wrestling in 1993. This was phenomenal. It's Too Cold Scorpio, my goodness. The moves this guy could do off the top rope. The flips, the flops, the flying. Amazing. If you want to watch flying, high flying, like everyone loves today, go back and watch Too Cold Scorpio. He's timeless, man. He could fit in today and do better than everyone else. So damn good at flying off the top rope for a guy his size as well. You wouldn't expect it. Phenomenal. This was a great match. My favourite match of the night. We got another debut, I do believe. It was the British Bulldog up against Wild Bill Irwin. It's probably the worst match of the night, to be honest with you. Davey Boy's seen better days. He's now... he got fired from the WWF. He's ended up in WCW. He's not looking great. This was okay. Not a bad match. Was what it was for 6 minutes. A match you don't really see much in this time in 1993 were Falls Count Anywhere matches. They were few and far between. Now we see one every bloody week. So it was nice to get one. And it's Cactus Jack again. Pretty sure he had one or a no DQ or no holds barred match or something else, a pay-per-view or two ago. But yeah, he's got one here against Paul Orndorff, who does a good job as well. This was entertaining. Cactus Jack with the shovel, Orndorff with the chair. There wasn't a lot of weapons. They fought outside, they brawled. It was entertaining, it was hard hitting. You thought Orndorff had beaten the hell out of Cactus Jack and there was no way back for him, but somehow Jack gets back up, smashes Orndorff with the shovel, gets the 1, 2, 3. Yeah, this was entertaining. Different kind of match than from what before. You had different kind of flavours from all different kinds of wrestling fans. That's what you're supposed to have on a wrestling show, not the same old shit every other match. And then we got a timeless feud here, really, when you think about it. It was Rock and Roll Express going up against Jim Cornette's Heavenly Bodies with Bobby Eaton there as well. Stan Lane teaming with Dr. Tom Pritchard. The original Heavenly Bodies before they moved to the WWF, and you get Jimmy Del Rey taking the place of Stan Lane. This was entertaining. This was a very good match. Jim Cornette's fantastic. One of the best managers of all time. Two very good tag teams. What's not to love? Smoky Mountain Wrestling, very good. Yeah, this was really good. Really good tag match. Nothing wrong. Two great teams. And the right team won in the end. Rock and Roll Express get the win. Very entertaining, yeah. Nothing wrong with it. Dustin Rhodes versus Max Payne, one of the worst matches again on the show, just because Max Payne's fucking useless. Never saw the point in Max Payne, never saw the draw, the reason why anyone would like Max Payne. Never liked him. Man Mountain, Rock, and whoever else he was. Yeah, I wasn't a fan. I'm not going to enjoy any of his matches. Didn't enjoy this one. Dustin Rhodes, very good. Anything he touches, anything he does, anything he's still doing now and did back then, he was very good. Yeah, his character was kind of bland, but apart from that, yeah, he was really good in the ring. He made this match decent, I suppose. The finish was pretty shit. DQ, because Max Payne just hit the ref pretty much. Yeah. I just don't enjoy seeing Max Payne in a wrestling ring, to be honest with you. Barry Windham versus the Great Muta. This was a great match. Ric Flair on commentary. He comes out beforehand. We saw him earlier on in the night. He's speaking with Tony Schiavone just before the match. He's back. He lost that match with Mr. Perfect on Monday Night Raw. Got fired from the WWF. One of the best matches of Raw all time. We don't see Ric Flair in the WWF for another, 10 years? Something like that. Something like that, isn't it? 9, 10 years. Yeah, he's WCW all the way now. He's back in WCW. And I suppose they have missed him. He's entertaining. He can carry the ball. And we know he does at some point win the championship back. He's bound to. But Barry Windham versus the Great Muta, in my opinion, Great Muta's best match in WCW. This was phenomenal. Best match I've seen him had so far. He's had matches against Sting and Flair and a few others. But this against Barry Windham, absolutely brilliant. Right person won. Barry Windham, another one that goes under the radar really as being a phenomenal professional wrestler. Not talked about enough. This was really, really good. And it's a shame, Barry Windham ain't holding that title for much longer. They're going to unify the two titles. There's no point having two world champions on one show. They're getting rid of the NWA soon and just focusing, and it's just going to be WCW again. So it's happening soon. They're going to combine the titles, aren't they? So, yeah, and I can't see Barry Windham holding it for too much longer, especially with Ric Flair. Woo! About! So I can imagine those two going up against each other, and then Flair versus Vader or Flair versus Sting for the world title happening pretty soon. Main event, strap match, bloody, violent, awesome, best match that Vader and Sting have had. A great way to finish the feud if they're going to leave it here. This was phenomenal. What was not to love? Great way to finish the show. Great title match. Two great heavyweights finishing off the feud. It was brilliant. Vader got the win. Right guy won, in my opinion. Good way to finish it as well. He falls back and hits the fourth turnbuckle. Yeah, a bloody Vader. His ear pissing with blood. Sting pissed off at the end, still going for him. So they could carry this on, I suppose. There is a way to carry this feud on. But I'd imagine somehow, some way, Ric Flair's getting those titles and unifying them and becoming the sole champion of this show. It's bound to happen. Bound to. He's Ric Flair. He runs WCW. It's that simple. Anyway, let me know what you thought about WCW SuperBrawl 3 if you have watched it. If you haven't, go check it out. It is a decent show. I would recommend it. See you next time.